Hello, I'm back. This is a Q&A. Oh, there's my mic. A Q&A session for anyone thinking of joining the virtual art studio. So you might not have seen this morning's video where I've unveiled the relaunch of our platform called the Virtual Art Studio, which is super, super exciting because it's no joke. It's been in the making for 6 years. And it's now evolved into this amazing place that we've just relaunched today. It feels so good. I've been really nervous about putting this out into the world because it means so much to me. So it's amazing to just finally have it out there. So it's a space to create, a space to be safe, to explore your art making, and a space to inspire you so that you don't feel lost or confused with what to make, and a space to guide you towards finding your voice as an artist. So I'm doing this session as a Q&A session to answer any questions that you have, because I know today's session this morning there was lots and lots of information to take in. So you maybe have had some time to sit and think now. You might have some questions about the platform or how it works. So Angelina has joined. Hello, Angelina, Ginny, Wendy, Victoria, Janice, Betty, Barbara, Francis have all joined. So exciting to have you all on board in the virtual art studio. And now you're a founding member as well, which is really exciting, of shaping this, because I remember when I launched the Hub, which is our other platform, and I just want to reassure Hub members, by the way, that this does not affect the Hub in any way. We've kind of been running the virtual art studio in the background, testing it out for the last year. So it won't change anything inside the Hub. And Hub members, as part of your subscription, you already have access to the virtual art studio. So it's a really exciting time, because when I launched the Hub, and there's still members now inside the Hub, which is our platform teaching people how to make a living from beginner to professional. I remember when I launched that, there was literally nothing inside it. I said, I've got this idea and I want to help people make a living. There's nothing in it, but who wants to join? And I remember there was a very small group of people that joined, and we worked together, and they told me what they needed, and I made the content, and it will be it will be the same for the virtual art studio. So we can shape this now to be exactly what you need. So let me grab up the questions. Let me just grab up. Here we go. So I've just been going through the conversations from earlier, and one of the big things that keeps coming through is and this isn't directly related to joining the virtual art studio, but I can see it's bringing up resistance for people in their art making. So there's been at least 5 people saying, I just can't afford to make art. I can't see how I could ever make this a living because I can't get going. I can't afford the materials. And what I want to speak to on this, whether you join the virtual art studio or not, is when you put those barriers in front of yourself, like, I can't do this because I haven't got the money. I can't do this because I haven't got the money. I've been in that situation, and it's a mindset shift. Yes, I'm not what's the word? I'm not disputing that you don't have the money, because I've been in these situations where, I've not had the money to make art myself. I've been in many situations where, we were so on the brink of just not having any food, because we didn't have enough money. So that I really appreciate that. But when it comes to the art making, there are so many ways that you can make art without the cash. There are so many ways that you can be resourceful, especially in the world that we're living in right now, where there is massive trends and conversation around recycling and reusing and repurposing, because we're living in a wasteful world and a society. So there are many, many ways that you can create art without paying for it. And that might be a big block for you. You might think, well, and I just thought, actually, Lottie, is Lottie on here? Yeah, Lottie's on. I was just thinking, actually, as I came on, this could be a good guide that we put in the how to make art on a shoestring, or how to make art without paying for it. Because I mean, I'm just thinking now of different artists that I know that have created artwork. There's Thomasina, who's one of our members. She makes art, and she actually makes pigments and makes her own materials from peat and from the earth. She makes all of her art in that way. And I know Sharon's she goes and digs clay out of the woodlands up the road. That's where she gets, like, her. She doesn't use all of her work for that, but I'm just to illustrate the point. You can go to the woods up here and go and get clay for free. And there are many artists that use materials like coffee. I know there's a really famous artist that uses coffee, and it sells for a lot of money. People know it's coffee. People don't care. They like the artwork. It's amazing. Chris Philly uses cow dung. Go to the fields and go, so when you're telling yourself, it's a fixed limiting belief. You've created this belief system that I can't afford it. I can't do art because I haven't got any money. You absolutely can. You can be resourceful. You can really spin it around. The other thing as well is, I mean, you can, there's so many ways, like going to the charity shop. I've been given art materials before. When you put it out there and say, I want to make art as cheaply as possible. I don't want to pay for my materials. If you just put it out there, you'll be surprised at what starts to happen. I talk a lot about the red car. I haven't mentioned the red car yet. This is the first time. But when you get really clear on something that you want, and I don't want to spend loads of money on materials. I don't want to spend any money, actually. So how am I going to do this? You start to look for opportunities and ways of using art in a more cost-effective way. Weird things will start to happen. Someone will be selling materials next to nothing down the road. It's happened to me. So there's so many ways. You'll pick up an article, and it might be all about how to make art from recycled materials. So don't let that stop you. Like, whether you join the virtual art studio or not, don't let that stop you. Don't let that be a reason not to make art. It's not a reason. There are ways, and you can do it, and just flip it around. So let me go to the next question. Oh, this one as well. This breaks my heart. This was from Agnes. So Agnes says, yeah, I don't know whether you were saying I was thinking of joining. I can see the fear, and I just don't feel like I can call myself an artist, because all I'm doing is an expensive hobby, and I'm struggling to afford to pay for what I can do. And then, so I can't make art all the time. Therefore, I can't call myself an artist. And Agnes, I mean, this is one of the reasons that I hold this event, because I see this a lot. I see this perception of what people believe an artist should be. If you're not making art every day, or if you're not selling art, or you can't afford your art materials, how can you possibly be an artist? All these things, all these judgments that we place and restrictions that we place. But actually, if you go and look up the definition of an artist, the dictionary definition of an artist is somebody that makes art either as a profession or a hobby. That's it, simple. But yet we as people put all these different spins and definitions of what that should be. And well, if I do this, then I can't be this. So again, let it all go. Just let it all go. Just make art, and you're an artist. Call yourself an artist. Who's gonna, nothing's gonna happen. The world won't end. the more you start just feeling it, feeling your art, breathe your art, live your art, enjoy your art, be proud of who you are, call it art, you are an artist, the more you'll start to enjoy it, the more you release these constraints that are put on from, they can be from all different types of places, from different people's opinions, from what you've read, that start to limit your beliefs around your ability to say that you're an artist, or even make art. It really gets me fired up. It really does, because you're not alone, Agnes, in how you feel. There are so many people. Somebody put a note. I get really emotional when I do these Your Art Matter week sessions. There's usually tears as well. I have to hold them back. I get really, really fired up about it, because I've been doing this for 6 years now, and before that, working in the creative industry. So I have seen stories. I've read so many stories. I've researched. I've devoured comments inside groups for years. I'm obsessed by it. I'm obsessed by how all our minds work, and why some people can thrive as an artist and some people are so limited. And it just, it really does break my heart when I see people putting on the shackles and the constraints because of these opinions or belief systems that we've created inside ourselves. It doesn't have to be that way. Somebody, let me just see where this, somebody said something earlier. Let me go back around this. Oh no, have I lost it? Hold on. Bear with me 1 second. I made a note of it earlier. Oh, I've lost it. There was somebody said something around this. Oh yeah, here it is. I think it was Carol Cohen who said this. There are so many people coming to art after decades of not making, failing to fit into workplaces. And there are. It's true. I've spoken to so many people recently who, they've had literally decades missing of art making because of the system, especially the school system, that failed them, that literally failed them in either exams, or told them that there was no point pursuing art because they were so terrible. I have literally got stories pouring out of my ears from people that have shared stories like this. It's either come from education, or it's come from friends or family that means something to that person, and they've told them that they're rubbish, and then they've stopped. And there are lots of people. I've got a friend actually who, he keeps messaging me. He wants to create art. He's terrified. He's absolutely terrified because he was told he was so rubbish at school. Now the friend of mine has built up this big image of what being an artist should be, that you've got to be like a master, and it's got to be in a gallery, and it's got to be all these things. That's what an artist should be. That's what an artist is. I am not that person. And he is battling with, I'm so terrified I can't even make the mark on the it's like, it's crazy for me to see, and I understand it, but it breaks my heart at the same time, because there's all these years passing and he's not doing it. He won't do it because he's so scared. And he's so scared because of all the stories and the beliefs that he's now got about what an artist should be. And he can't just let go. Can't let go. I'm still trying to work on him now to get him to just do something. And yeah, over the years, as I've met artists, I have questioned a lot of people. How did you get into art? We've had lots of people now returning because they're suddenly now, maybe because of the pandemic as well. We had this conversation yesterday about, we went inward a little bit during the pandemic. We looked inside of ourselves. What does matter? What really matters? For a lot of people, that made them realize that I want to be creative. I want to make art. So it's been lying dormant, and all these fears have been holding people back. So it's really nice to see now people finally coming out of, from behind the shadows and making art. In fact, who is it that we've had join? Oh, let me just get this up quickly, because we've just had somebody join the virtual art studio today, and I just want to get up really quickly. Michelle, come on. Hold on. Here it is. I won't say who it is, because it's personal information, but we've had someone join who's 83 years old today, and just looking forward to just learning and being supportive, and I just love that. And whoever it was that joined, who's that age, we also have Sylvan in our community, and I know she won't mind me sharing her age. Sylvan has been following me since the very, very beginning of launching United Art Space, and I remember Sylvan finding us, and she's now 83, I think. So how old would she have been when she found us? Was it about 70? I don't know, late 70s. And Sylvan hadn't made art, it had been dormant, and she was in her late 70s, and just said, I've just decided to just unleash this part of myself. And she's having the best time ever. She's doing a TikTok course now on how to do videos, and she's done an abstract course. And when she found us, she was terrified to even put a picture on social media. She wouldn't even comment in the group. She was so terrified. And her confidence has just grown. It's been a real gift to see, because, coming into our community in the late 70s, feeling so anxious. And she described herself, she said, I feel like I've been living in a cave for all my life. And now she's free. It's just amazing. So let me just go back to the next question. This was a good question. I can't remember who it came in from. I didn't take the name. Can the virtual art studio help me focus because I have too many ideas? This is a really good question. So, because what we find is it's funny how our brains work. People either have no ideas and are really stuck, or you got too many. And you're like, and your sketchbooks, and you're probably surrounded by ideas, and you're kind of creating all the time. But what I find, having worked with people, is when you're like that, it's that itch. You can't get it. It's like, I'm still doing all this stuff, but I don't know where it's going. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm just churning it out, and I see something else, and I see something else, and it gets a bit overwhelming, and your brain's like, blah, blah, blah. So the way that the virtual art studio can help you is, we do the art challenges, which really do open your mind to the visual language. So they're written to help you really explore visual language. So they're not just completely random. They are written to really help you fine-tune that voice and learn that language. And what we're also working on is an artist journey inside the virtual art studio. I was hoping to get that ready before today, but I ran out of time. So it's something that I'm going to be working on over the next few weeks. But the artist's journey is going to be, it's a cycle of, you start at the beginning, and that's when you've got no direction. You maybe come to the end of a project, or you've maybe coming new to it completely. I don't know what I'm holding here. This is just the top. I kind of need a diagram to draw. So the beginning of the journey is entering with, oh my gosh, what do I do next? I need some, I need some inspiration. And that's where we begin, usually, in this artist journey. We start gathering inspiration. It might be a picture. I might go out here and find this, and we start to then create it's different for everybody. This is what we teach. I start to create like a vision board for my art. Then these are the things I'm really interested in right now. And from that of gathering and starting to switch on, you kind of switching on at that point and seeing and taking notice, it can get really overwhelming, that stage. And sometimes people stay in that stage, just gathering all the time. And then what we do is we move and we select part of this thought process, and we move it now to the next stage of having a starting point. And we're not disregarding everything else. We're bringing a thought process in, so we can delve now into the formal elements and start to play and experiment. And so the artist roadmap then takes you into that play and experiment and takes you around this circle of, then we select shelve and delve, we started to call it shelve and delve, where you'll select parts of your art that you like and you want to bring forwards, and you shelve some art pieces or ideas. And it's this process then of, that's how you start to refine your voice and refine your ideas and go deeper. It's really exciting. And then it comes into a final outcome, which could be a piece of artwork. It might be, does that make it's hard for me to describe without actually having it up on a board with descriptors. But the point is that this design, the design circle, the artist roadmap, the artist circle, it's a process. When you've got loads and loads of ideas, that process will help you just go around this circle and go, right, I'm at this stage now. Now I'm going to take this idea and explore it more. And that's what we'll help you with inside the virtual art studio. I don't know if that's made any sense. Please tell me if not, and I'll elaborate a little bit more. So, and part of that circle, and then this is what happens. This is what happens to everyone. You'll get excited about something, you'll explore, you play, you find a technique and you go, oh, let's do this in different ways. Then there's an output, a final piece, and you go, yay. And then you go back to the beginning and you go, what now? It's normal. That is definitely it. I've had so many artists say to me, I've been really excited, I found my thing. And then 3 months later, they come to me and say, I'm really worried. I don't know what to do anymore. And I said, you've just gone round the circle again. You've just got to go back to the beginning. And then they do, and then they go back around. So yeah, that's what I would suggest when you have too many ideas, is going round that loop that we will build into the virtual art studio at some point. Let me see. I liked this as I was scrolling through the comments earlier. Victoria Wright said, because I showed the virtual art studio and it looks like Netflix, and I loved it. So Victoria says it's just, we could call it Artflix, and I so wish we'd thought of that. I just went and had a Google, and someone's already used the term Artflix, but oh my God, I totally would have renamed it to that. But it is like a Netflix. Yeah, and I think it was Victoria as well that said that just this week, I think, just by playing, Victoria said, I've just created some work and it feels a little bit more childlike, but it feels so free. And I'm finally now getting in this creative flow. It's part of that letting go. It's really exciting when you do that, because that's what's going to help you get into the real core of the artist that you are. Now, let me just see, another question was, how do we access, can we access off a mobile? Yes. So you can access it off any device. So, yeah, all devices. The community you can access with inside the platform. And there is also an app for the community as well. But the app is only available on Apple at the moment, but Android is coming. So, but you don't have to have the app. You can access it through the platform. Let me see. If I sign up monthly, when does the next payment come out? Yeah, so this is a good question. So when you sign up, you pay on the day, and then it will come out on exactly the same date after. So it's always on, if you pay on the 7th, it'll come out on the 7th, and then it just recurs automatically. And if you sign up yearly, it also recurs as well. With yearly, though, you can cancel. You just let us know and we will cancel, but it will recur. So both subscriptions are recurring. on the same date. So if it's the monthly, it's the same date each month, and if it's yearly, it's the same date. So it'd be April next year that it would go through again. Oh, I loved this earlier. There were some people, because I was saying that, what we've created here is not just a community, but a friendship, like family. We are like a family, especially because there are some people literally that have been following me and I've been connected to now for 6 years through this platform. And Les is one of them. Les was reached out and he said, yeah, I just really feel like we are friends for life. And Chantel said the same, that Chantel's made friends. This is why I really, really want to, this is really what I want to do. And I'm working really hard with the team to really think about the virtual art studio and how we connect you all. I remember years ago when I used to do the art challenges, I don't know if anyone here was watching, when we did the portrait swap. So we did a portrait swap and we teamed people up in pairs, and we had like beginners, intermediates and advanced, and we paired people in different stages of ability. And then people swapped, we swapped photographs and then everyone did a portrait of each other. It was so amazing. And I remember, I can't remember who exactly it was. I remember it was June Benstead swapped with somebody else in Australia. So June was in the UK. She swapped with someone, and I can't remember what her name was, in Australia. And then this is before COVID. June flew out to Australia and they actually met in person. They'd swapped portraits, sent them across the world. And so they took their pictures with their portraits and then they actually met in person. I mean, that's the kind of thing that I love seeing and doing. And we are really thinking hard about how we can adopt and foster that sense of connection between you all. So I'm really excited to delve into that this year. And I just think we need it more than ever right now with everything going on in the world. Let me see. Excuse me. Let me go to the chat here. Hello, Amanda. Hello, Alan. Lovely to see you all. Yeah, earth art. Absolutely. Yeah, it's Thomasina in our community that does that. Oh, Cindy. Oh, Cinda, sorry. Hello. Lorna says, yeah, most of my art materials were given to me, or I request art stuff for birthdays and Christmas. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, old makeup. Yes. That's a great tip for using art materials. Absolutely. There is always something. Yeah. I love that. Yeah, when you get looking around, there are art materials at your disposal. Yes, they don't have to cost anything, like Alan says. Absolutely. And it can be made from anything. And there is a movement in that. This is the other thing as well that I just want to share. Don't get stuck in thinking, but if I make my art on the back of an envelope, who's going to buy it? Stop. Just stop, because it's that when you're putting the shackles on again. I just think you've got to be so free in your art making. And the thing is, you could create your art on the back of an envelope, and yes, maybe you won't make a living out of those envelopes, but the very fact that you're making that art in the first place is contributing towards this muscle memory, your artistic voice, the connection, your intrinsic connection, your practical connection. You should never underestimate that part. But also, I've seen people pay literally thousands for a glue stick stuck on a wall, from a banana hanging from a ceiling. There is no reason why somebody wouldn't buy artwork on an envelope. It's, again, a limiting belief. You're probably thinking, I wouldn't buy art on an envelope. That doesn't mean somebody else wouldn't buy art on an envelope. So the other thing as well is art just isn't always about selling. If you do make it just about selling, then you are losing everything around the reason of being an artist. It isn't just about selling. And I know that if you're making a living, it's an important part. But most artists will tell you when they start getting distracted with what makes a living, they then start making their worst work. So Let me see. Any other questions? So Victoria, you've joined, haven't you? So what's next? No, it's not a silly question. It's a great question. So, once you join the virtual art studio, I really recommend, well, I share this in the videos when you start. There's 2 ways to use the platform. Number 1 is just start doing the art challenges with us. You can use it in that way. You can do the art challenges with us. You can do the art drop-in sessions with us where we've got a guide showing you how to do something. So you can use it that way where it's very prescriptive. We're going to just hold your hand and go, right, do this, now do this. That's one way of using it. The other way of using it is to go through the Kickstart Your Art, that mini course, which is right at the bottom of the page. And that is then kickstarting your art into gathering your own ideas and creating your art board, which we're actually going to do a big live version of in May together as a group, as a big group. It's going to be really, really fun. And that then will get you started with maybe being more focused around the direction that you want to go in. So it depends if you just want to be free and just play. If you want a little bit more focus and think, right, I want to start, connecting, then the Kickstart Your Art and delving into that would be the best way to start. So yeah, if you're a current hub member, I've just seen Nikki ask if you're a current hub member, do you need to set up a circle? Yes, you do. So if you go into the Facebook group, there is a post that I put out this morning with the links for you to do that, Nikki. Let me see. Oh, this is so sad. So my family is totally against me because I haven't made it with my art. They are trying to stop me. It's really heartbreaking. I mean, it's a difficult one for me to advise because you're in a situation that's so personal. Speaking from experience, I've had it myself where I had so many people against me setting up United Art Space. I cannot tell you the pressure I was under from people who literally just kept saying how ridiculous I was, that I needed to get a real job. And so I just think when it comes to your art making, like I said before, art making does not have to be about making money. And when you think about what art brings you and what it's teaching you, I just don't know if anyone else in your family has, if they have interests of their own, like going for walks and I know those video games or, other things, reading books, maybe. It's a vice. Art is something that enriches our lives so much. So, and I just, it's sad when I see other people trying to take that away from other people. And it's because of their views. They've got a view of, oh, you're wasting your time, or usually they're trying to protect you, or they've got their own fears or beliefs around, again, what an artist should be. Definitely. And then they're pushing that on other people, sadly. So my tips there would be either try and explain, why this is so important to you. And if they care about you, please, can you let me have my time to make? Or, this is what I ended up doing. I just stopped telling people. I just stopped telling people and I stopped talking to people about it because I was just getting so much negativity back. I also then had to create a bubble as well. I created a bubble and an imaginary bubble around me. And every time people kept saying that, this is ridiculous, Michelle, what are you doing? You've got a family, you're being completely selfish here, and people are taking advantage of you. These are all the things that I used to hear. I had to create a bubble where the words just bounced off, so that I could protect my energy. So it's tricky. Yeah. Let me see. Any other questions? Lorna says, what's the difference between the hub and the VAS? Good question. I remember that there was a waiting list that enrolls each year. So, and I see Lottie's already answered. Yes. So the hub is focused. It's focused on making a living. It has a roadmap taking you from beginner to established. It teaches you things like how to use social media, how to write your bio, how to write a statement, how to create a website, how to, there's loads of stuff. And it's an incredible platform. We've built that over the last 5 years. It's amazing. And we try to incorporate all of this into that platform, but it was too much. And it was too much information. And yeah, of course, we still do focus on making art inside the hub as well. We've got a section on there which is about building your portfolio, but there's still a need, and I see in our hubsters and our hub members as well, even though they're working towards making a living, there is still this need, the 20% of play, that when you get wrapped up in making art, your living, and you're selling, you sometimes get derailed from the playtime. And so I then started to think, this needs to be separate. This needs to be something where people park that part of their art and they come into a completely separate space. It's the virtual art studio. We don't talk about selling. We're literally connecting with this part of ourselves that is distracted by noise and opinions and belief systems. And this is about us now playing and connecting with ourselves and our art making and being inspired by each other. And I don't think you can do that when you're concentrating on making a living all the time. And your art making as well, when it's established, there has to be that playtime. There has to be that experimentation time. Otherwise, your artwork stays still and stagnant. You'll never evolve. That's what the virtual art studio is. It's purely making, purely creating. And it's all about the art. And not necessarily finished pieces. It's about the experimenting and playing and the visual language. And yeah, that's the difference. Let me see. So Mo's asking about the content. So does the content disappear? So the current event, Your Art Matters, ends on the 12th of April and everything is taken down. Yeah. Unless you're joining the virtual art studio, you'll get continued access. But yes, everything in this event right now comes down on the 12th. Everything's scheduled to end on the 12th of April. So you've still got time to watch the replays and do the art challenges. Yeah. The name of the app is called Circle. That's the community that we have built our community on. Oh, Alan, it's lovely to see you too. Really nice to have you here. Sorry, yeah, no, I just saw someone said the time was wrong. I'm sorry, that was my fault. I was supposed to be going live at 3 today, and then I had to change it to 2:30 because I've got to take my kids to the dentist. So I think I put in the hub that I'd be live at 3. Yeah, exactly, Amanda. Some people might buy it because it's on the back of the envelope. Yeah, I think I would. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, I love this. So Lorna says, yeah, I told myself I was an artist as soon as I got the commission, but looking back, I was already an artist. Absolutely. And someone was asking about the selling, will this help me sell? So although we don't focus on selling in the virtual art studio, it's a very strict, like, no, we're not going there because it distracts you, it derails you. That being said, if you do want to sell art, this is the best way to sell your art, is to get connected. When I teach, I've got 3 workshops coming in September, and this is what I teach in the hub. The more you have a strong connection to why you make, because the biggest question an artist gets asked by a buyer is, what inspired your artwork? It's the biggest question. Well, if you go to a gallery, they'll want to know, why are you making? Where does this come from? The more you do this work inside the virtual art studio and you explore your voice, whether you want to sell or not, but especially if you want to sell, it's going to strengthen your art making. And that's what people are looking for when they want to give you grant money, when they want to invest in you. So all of this, although we're not focusing on selling, it will help. Absolutely. It will help strengthen your art. It will help you stand out from the crowd when you get connected with why you're making. Hello. So I like the idea of virtual art studio. I have a question. Is the new virtual art studio a monthly fee subscription, or do we have to pay full? So you can pay, you can do either. You can pay monthly or you can pay for the year. It's up to you. We'd love to have you. If you've got any more questions, let me know. Hi, Paula. Yes, the circle you've missed. Yeah, don't worry, we'll get you connected. Yeah. Naughty corner for me, absolutely. I should always be in the naughty corner. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's the biggest question that people get asked. Let me just see if there's any more questions before I wrap up. Hold on 1 second. How do I cancel? So cancel is just really easy. There is if you do decide that you sign up and that it's not for you anymore, there's a button inside the platform, and you can go into your account and you can get in touch with us and cancel really easily. We know that situations can change. Let me just go to one more place to see if there's any more questions coming in, and then I'll wrap up. It's really exciting to have this out in the world. It feels very surreal, really surreal, actually, because I just can't believe it was 6 years ago when it first went out into the world, and now it's this. It's really, this was never planned. It's so strange how the world works. Hold on. Oh, yeah, there was lots of questions around materials. Hold on, let me grab that one. So there was another question around textile. So I'm a textile artist. Will this be for me? Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I spent a few years playing around with textile art. I love textile art. All of this is based around each individual artist and encouraging you to try different materials and different ways of working. So you might be a textile artist. You might do a demo in something completely different, that then you go back to your textile art and go, oh, now I can use this here. So it's all about the language, the visual language that we're learning and discovering, and being around other artists. Well, everyone here will tell you it's the community. The community is what makes this super incredible. It's the most amazing, special group of people. It really, and that's not just me saying it. People here will tell you it's phenomenal. It's such a, and I think it's because we've cultivated over the years we've been very intentional about the people that we attract and the messaging that we put out, because we want to attract supportive people who are all on the same page as us. I'm very, very protective of our community, very protective. So yeah, let me just, going back to the materials. Yeah, it's applicable to all types of art making. Oh, there was a question about the critique sessions. So Someone was asking, and I didn't write the whole thing down. They were asking if we will do the critique sessions because people were saying, I'd like my work critique. So the bonus, if you sign up in the first 24 hours, because we have limited places, you'll be put in with a chance. You'll definitely get your work reviewed. So anyone that signs up in the first 24 hours, there'll be a session with me and Sharon, and we'll do a live session, and you can submit your artwork to us, and we'll both review it in this live session that will be in May. And then every month going forwards, there is going to be a critique post inside the group. So, because the best thing with critique is having a group of people critiquing your work, and you learning how to give feedback as well, honestly enriches the whole process. So there'll be a post every month where we can critique each other's work, and we will do live sessions as well where we give feedback on artwork. So you will have chance to have feedback inside the platform, both on video and through each other as well. Yeah, the hub platform is completely separate to the virtual art studio. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Amanda says here, look, I've made some great friends and only ever seen supportive comments. Yeah, absolutely. I love it, Alan. I know the circle has no sharp edges. Yeah. Oh, someone's asking here, what if I signed up? Hello, Angelina. What if I've signed up and haven't gotten an email yet? If you haven't gotten an email yet, please email. I'm going to put it up on the screen now. support@unitedartspace.org. That's our support email. So if you email support, I'm just trying to get it up on the screen for you. There you go. It's there. If you email support, they'll be able to look into why, and they'll be able to get everything to you as soon as possible. There was another question here. Do I need social media to take part? No, this is the exciting part now. I've been wanting to do this for so long. None of this is on social media. So we have a website, and you access all the information, all the courses, all the demos on a website. And the community is via the website too. So you don't need to be on any kind of social media, which is, we're already getting so much amazing feedback, just saying this is so incredible. Does it matter where I live and whether I'll be able to attend the live sessions? No, it doesn't. We have various drop-in sessions, and we are mindful that, not everyone's going to be able to attend those sessions. We are going to put on some extra sessions at different time zones eventually once we start to grow this platform. Everything is recorded, so you don't need to be there live. So all the guest demos and any talks, any critique sessions, everything's recorded. And the great thing is with the recordings is you can watch them on double speed, and you can watch them in the bath or on a walk or whilst listening to your artwork. So there's lots of benefits with watching the replays. And then as we grow, once we get you all settled in, we'll start to get our heads around some drop-in sessions as well that are at different time zones. So yeah, if you've signed up, you should have your emails. So if you haven't got any confirmation from us yet, please do drop us that email so that we can look into why you haven't had anything yet. There was another question as well about captions on videos. Yeah, every single video that we provide has transcriptions and captions built in. Oh, this was a good question from Victoria. Can I upload my artwork? Yes, you can. So the Circle community is just like Facebook. You can upload your artwork. You can upload photographs as you're taking them on a walk. If you see it, we've had it this week. People taking pictures of their walks and the inspiring sky. And if we've got art challenges running, you can post your artwork inside the group. And then, of course, when we have critique sessions, you'll be able to post your artwork in those posts as well. So yeah, you can do near enough all the things that you can do on Facebook inside our community. It's very similar to Facebook, just without all the noise. So let me see. I think that's it. I think I've gone through all the questions now. Yeah, that's it, I think. Has anyone got anything else before I wrap up? Oh, there was another one here. Do I need any formal art training? No. I know I talked a lot earlier about being at art school, but you really don't need to be trained in anything to take part in this. It's, when I went to art school, it was different for everybody, of course. We weren't taught that, this is how you use oils and this is how you use acrylics. It was, what are you interested in? Now go and play and come back and tell us what you're doing and write a dissertation about it. It was really about exploring and experimenting and left to your own devices, really. So, no, you definitely don't need to be taught at all. Lottie, have I missed anything? Have you noticed any questions? So I know you were going through the chat earlier. I did go through, and then we get blocked here. This is another reason we want to come off, because we can't even go through our own comments. We get blocked by Facebook by commenting too much on our own page. I have to be careful what I say because they listen as well. So if my page goes down in about an hour, you'll know why. I didn't like what I was saying. I'm just having a quick look now. I don't think there was any other questions, but I will do another Q&A session anyway. And there was about the bonuses. So what are the bonuses? So quickly, I did say this earlier, but the fast action bonus for the first 24 hours is a feedback session on your artwork with myself and Sharon. Sharon, by the way, she's super phenomenal at giving feedback. And then the other bonus we are creating at the moment, so that'll be released in a couple of weeks, is the 25 days of inspiration, because one of the biggest things we could see was that people are getting stuck and not knowing where to start. So we've got this amazing resource where you'll have 25 ideas to get you started with your art making. And then the other one is the Kickstart Your Art Challenge, which you'll get free access to. We're going to do that in May. So you won't have to pay for that. Let me see. Yeah, we will still. Yeah, this is a good question. So yeah, we will still be doing things on Facebook. We'll still have our Facebook page, absolutely. And because I think it's an amazing platform. Don't get me wrong. I'm not being critical of Facebook. I think it's so good, and I just think we couldn't have grown and reached you without Facebook. So we'll still definitely be on Facebook and Instagram. Our current community, the hub, is still on Facebook, but we have plans to migrate everybody over to this new community off Facebook. But yeah, in terms of our social media presence, we will still have a Facebook page. Yeah, and an Instagram page. Let me just see, was there any questions around? No, I think that was it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they do mess. Yeah, they do mess with everything that we can see. Okay, so I think that's it. So, okay, the link is above if you want to join us. If you've got any questions, let me know. As I say, on the platform, there's a little button at the bottom that you can hit and ask me a question, and I'll get back to you. So if you've got any questions about joining, just let me know. Okay. Right, I will let you know what's going to happen tomorrow. I've still got to sort this out. So we've got to sort out how we're going to meet tomorrow for our drop-in studio session. So I'll let you know by email how we'll be doing that. I can't wait to just hang out with you all tomorrow if you can make it. We'll just make some art together again. So take care, and I'll be looking out for your challenge today, which is music. So create anything that is related to music. Could be a poem, could be just a musical note, could be how music makes you feel. And I'll check the social media post later. Okay, take care, everyone, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye-bye.